The ship's engines coughed smoke and stuttered into silence, dying like a wounded animal under the twin moons of Varelia 6. Lieutenant Jonas Vale wiped soot from his brow and looked over the cratered terrain, then down at the tall, silver-skinned woman gripping the edge of the console with barely concealed panic. "This planet's uninhabited," she said in a low, melodic voice. "We may not be found for weeks." "Then we survive for weeks," Jonas replied calmly, standing and grabbing the emergency kit. "We've done worse." Her name was Alarius Vethquen, an envoy of the Zelthari sovereignty, regal, intelligent, and proud. Zelthari didn't normally mingle with humans, and they certainly didn't travel alone with them on remote diplomatic convoys. But this was no normal mission. A political assassination on neutral grounds had thrown Alarius and Jonas together during the escape, and now, with both their ships destroyed in orbit and their escape pod limping to this moon, they were stranded, just the two of them. Alarius followed Jonas down the ramp, her six-fingered hand brushing the side of the escape pod like she was saying goodbye. The crystalline shimmer of her skin reflected the rising suns, giving her the appearance of a living statue carved from light and grace. Jonas handed her a thermal blanket and gestured to a nearby cave. "Shelter first, then water. Then maybe we can signal someone." "Signal?" she echoed, a bitterness in her voice. "The Zelthari Council has likely already declared me dead. My usefulness ended the moment I fled." Jonas paused, then smiled softly. "Well, good thing you've got a useless human to lean on." She tilted her head. "Humans are peculiar. And you're not," he teased. "You've got glowing eyes and skin like mother of pearl." "I'm a highborn," she said, pride rising. "I was bred to be more." They walked in silence for a time before Alarius added quietly, "And yet, in the end, they left me." Over the next few days they built a life from scratch. Jonas fashioned makeshift tools, foraged edible plants, and taught Alarius how to start a fire without plasma torches. At night they sat near the glowing coals. She would hum songs in her alien tongue, and he'd share old Earth stories of mountain climbers, freedom fighters, poets, and fools. Jonas discovered her arrogance was a mask. She had been bred and raised to serve the sovereignty, a tool dressed in ceremony, a diplomat without real friends, a warrior without real wars. And in the quiet between stars she softened. One night she asked, "Why are you still kind to me?" He looked over at her. "Why wouldn't I be? You're a soldier. I'm a Zelthari. Your people fought ours not even a decade ago." Jonas sighed. "I'm tired of fighting. And honestly, I think we're better off learning from each other than trying to kill each other." Alarius didn't reply, but she sat closer to him that night. Weeks passed. A bond formed, fragile at first like a spider's thread, but strengthening with each shared laugh, each moment of hardship. One evening, under the aurora-filled sky, Alarius approached Jonas as he stoked the fire. Her usual confidence was gone. "Jonas," she said, voice tight, "may I ask you something personal?" "Always." "If a rescue comes," she said slowly, "and they take you back to your people, will you leave me?" He blinked. "Leave you? I ask because I fear I am no longer welcome among my own. And you? You've shown me more mercy than any Zelthari ever did. So I wonder, do I matter only here in isolation or?" She trailed off. Jonas rose to his feet and stood in front of her. "Alarius, you are more than this place. More than what they made you." "But," he took her hand gently. Her fingers trembled. "Alarius Vethquen," he said with a small smile, "I didn't stay because I had no choice. I stayed because, somehow, in the middle of nowhere I found someone worth fighting for. So no, I won't leave you. Not here. Not anywhere. She stared at him, stunned. Jonas. And then, something in her expression shifted. Vulnerability melted into something fierce and bright. She stepped closer, forehead brushing his. In Zelthari culture, that was a sacred gesture. Silent vow. He didn't move. A week later, the rescue beacon Jonas had rigged together from a wrecked relay finally caught attention. A human recon ship landed in a cloud of dust and roar of engines. Marines spilled out, weapons drawn, only to lower them when they saw the pair waiting calmly at the cave's entrance. Jonas saluted. Lieutenant Vale, requesting extraction. 2 survivors. Alaria stood beside him, dressed in a cloak made from local flora, head held high. The commander eyed her warily. That's a Zelthari. Why's she with you? She's with me because she helped me survive. And because she has no home to return to. The commander frowned. And you want to bring her where, exactly? Jonas didn't blink. Earth. Or wherever I'm stationed next. The commander gave a half-smile. You think Central Command will just let you take an alien diplomat into human territory? Jonas shrugged. Then let them try and stop me. Alarius touched his shoulder, her voice quiet. You would defy your own people. He turned to her. You asked me if I'd leave you. Now you have your answer. They returned to human space amid whispers and political tension. Jonas was interrogated, praised, reprimanded, and cleared. Alarius, despite her past, was offered conditional asylum. Many suspected her of espionage. But none could deny the footage of the 2 surviving together, the days catalogued on Jonas's personal logs. Her knowledge helped improve diplomatic understanding. Her first-hand experience as a discarded royal made her valuable. Still, her presence was controversial. On Earth, protesters gathered. News feeds debated the implications. Soldiers jeered. But Jonas stood firm. And Alarius never let him face it alone. Months passed. They shared a small home on the outskirts of Luna Base. Jonas was promoted. Alarius, given freedom to teach xenocultural studies, found students who adored her. One night, she stood on their balcony, gazing at Earth's glowing curve. He approached her, placing a warm drink in her hand. You were wrong, you know, she said. About what? You humans, she smiled faintly, are far more stubborn and noble than I expected. And you aliens, he said, kissing her temple, are far more human than I ever thought. She turned to him then, searching his face with those luminous, galaxy-colored eyes. Jonas. Yeah. I still wonder. Will you ever leave me? Years from now. When I'm no longer strange or exotic. When I'm just me. He pulled her into his arms, holding her tight. Not now. Not ever.